reflect over one line and then a second line. And this is the proofs of composite reflections over intersecting lines. And it's actually my favorite thing to do. So first we're going to do it, and then we're going to kind of, as we go, talk about the steps. And I'm going to run through at least one set of steps here as we're going. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got right here, we're just going to write this out. This is going to be line 1 right here. That's real big, but yeah. And this is line 2. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to set up a radial. And a radial goes from the point of intersection of the two lines to that point A. And we are reflecting over line 1 first. So as I go, I'm just going to try to, a little bit over here, write this out. I'm going to say step 1, reflect, draw radial. That's like that line from A to point of intersection. So that's my first step. Okay. Next, I am going to literally draw in here the angle that I'm going to call these. I'm going to call this X degrees, Y degrees. Okay, so that's what we're going to say next that we're doing. Step 2. Label angles. Just leave it as that. Okay, so next we are going to take this line, reflect it over line 1. We're going to label that A prime. So we got to go back to those steps again. Step 3, reflect A and label A prime. Okay. Next, we're going to draw in that radial. And then we are going to label the angle. If it's the same reflected over line 1, it's got to be the same degrees. So for step 4, draw in radial. In radial. Step 5. Label angle. Okay, now that we've done this, we are going to reflect over line 2. That's the A prime, so we have to go all the way back over here, all the way over here, that whole distance, so it's way here. And we're going to label this A double prime. Okay, so next we're going to draw in that radial, and then we are going to label this whole distance. I had to go x, x, y over. So let's go back to those steps. So step 6, reflect A prime over line 2. Step 7, draw in radial. Remember, that's just a fancy word for a line between them. Step 8, label angle. Okay, what is key here is I want you to see that the distance between line 1 and line 2. Distance between line 1 and line 2. Okay, it is, or the angle, x plus y. We're actually going to change this instead of distance. We're going to call it angle. That's important. Okay. And it is x plus y degrees, where the angle between A and A and A prime is 2x. See how there's two x's between here? A and A double prime. Remember, that's A double prime is 2x plus 2y. Okay. We're going to do one more. So let's say I give you again 2 lines. Actually, going to move this. 2 lines. And I give you a point A, but this time, let's say A is over here. So here's A. And I am going to label this, I'm just going to, nope, I'm not going to do that. Trash with it. Okay, we're just going to label this line 2, line 1. And instead of doing all that fun and exciting typing of the steps, we're just going to actually do it. So we're going to draw in a radial, and we're going to label this distance right here as x. And then we're going to label, we want to reflect A all the way over line 1. So I'm actually going to label this middle part y. And then I'm going to reflect this whole thing over here. So I'm going to be left with A prime right here. This is going to be A prime. And I'm going to draw in that radial. This is super in the wrong spot. I wonder if I can move this. Okay, so this spot here is x, y. I've moved it all the way over. Now I am going to put in the point a double prime, which is all the way, I've done all of this all the way over line 1. Now I need to take this all the way over line 2. So see, this is x, y, y, x. So the x covers it up. And I'm all the way here. And we're going to call this right here. Come on. We're going to name it eventually. There we go. A double prime. Okay. And we're going to draw in that radial. And this all folded on half. You could put your hand up and see, and we have x, y, y on this side of line 2. So we need to have x, but we already have that x right here. Y, y on the other side. And we can see line 1 to line 2 is y. And then A to A double prime, A right here to A double prime is 2y. It is still double the distance. We can still say that. That's therefore, that's what those dots mean. It's double the distance. Double. Oh, well, we can't read it very well. But it's double the distance between line 1 and line 2 is A to A double prime. That's the whole point.